Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you a few things that only hardcore Angry Birds fans will notice in the Angry Birds movie. Now, we have just been confirmed that the third Angry Birds movie is coming out, so I thought no better time to show you this than now. Anyways, let's jump right into this video. Number 1, did you know that this scene where Chuck and Terrence are racing back, well, technically not racing, but Chuck races everybody, and then Terrence just appears, like, out of nowhere, like that. That is actually a reference to an old Angry Bird cartoon. In Angry Birds Toon, from Season 1, Episode, 120, I believe, yeah. Towards the very end of the cartoon, if you actually have watched this, and as I said at the beginning, only hardcore Angry Birds fans will know this. Towards the very end of the race, actually first, I should probably show this. Earlier on in the cartoon, after Chuck annoyingly gets past all the other Angry Birds, and then Terrence just appears in the middle of the road. And then Chuck continues running, and then he appears in another spot, like he's teleporting around. And then throughout the whole cartoon, he keeps doing that. Every time that Chuck is turning around, Terrence is always reappearing closer to him. And then finally at the end, as I said, and here we are, Chuck is about to win the race, and then he's about to cross the finish line, and then Terrence just appears there and beats him. It's one of the funniest things in the Angry Birds cartoons, and then everybody just beats him, and he's in last place. But anyways, it's practically the same. But I find that very interesting that they put that in the movie. Sony must have watched those, because you wouldn't know this unless you were a hardcore Angry Birds fan. And speaking of which, if you are a hardcore Angry Birds fan, comment down below, and also let me know if there are any facts that I didn't put in this video that you noticed. Now, the second one you might know if you have seen my latest poll, but did you know that Angry Birds Stella's characters actually appear in the Angry Birds movie? Right here, after Leonard, just before Leonard gives his speech on stage. As you can see, all of the characters from Angry Birds Stella appear just before Stella walks on stage. Now, honestly, I have not played this game much, so I only know a few of them. But yeah, if you actually notice, they look like the exact same characters from the game. And I've only watched the cartoon show for Angry Birds Stella. I've not actually played the game much. I've only beaten it once, and that's when it came out. But if you might know, yeah, one of them does actually appear more than the others. If you go earlier on in the movie, you can actually see one of them has a bigger role. She appears throughout the movie. The one I do know is Willow. The one that wears the hat. There, she's right there. This character, if you've not watched the cartoon show, I'll give you a rundown. She does appear a lot in the movie. She wears the hat because she has, feathers all, over the place. Her feathers are pretty wacky, like Weird Al Yankovic's hair. But she appears throughout the movie a bit, and even in the second movie. And if there is actually another point at which they all appear. Towards the end, as all the... There. they all walk past the hug trader and give him a hug. Those are all the characters again. But yeah, as you can see, they appear all at once, twice in the movie. But Stella and Willow are the only two that actually appear more. Honestly, the most memorable thing is from the second movie that I can really think of, where she's on screen like it's a big deal, because she's more of like a background character. Same with Stella, but she appears with Bomb at the some kind of like I don't remember what it's called. I've only watched the second movie a few times, and I'll be honest, never really enjoyed it. But she is like meeting Mom is like at like a date. Honestly, that's actually a good fit. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing. The next thing that only hardcore Angry Birds fans will notice is that on board the pig's ship and other stuff, you see all sorts of stuff that the pigs use to build structures in Angry Birds, like stone, wood, TNT, glass. And like if you were watched, there's a lot of other stuff there. Like they use TNT crates a lot, and there's like a lot of things used. And even when they're at Pig City, if you notice, they use a lot of stuff. There's even the line where Leonard says, "We have glass, we have wood, we have TNT." And then, I'm trying to find it. If you also notice that when the pigs are doing the cowboy show, all the cowboy hats that they're wearing, they're actually hats that the pigs can wear in the first Angry Birds game. And I believe it's the Old Western level. I don't know. The first Angry Birds game, I haven't played it in a long time because it got removed off the App Store. But they're actually wearing that. And that's another thing that goes with the whole thing, with them using what they do in the game, which I think that's really awesome. I like that. That they're bringing a lot of game aspects to the movie. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing on the list. If you've actually watched the cartoon show, some of these pigs might look familiar to you. The Chef Pig. This is the Chef Pig, and he did actually appear. He was a main character in the cartoon show for the Angry Birds. And he looked something like this. This is how he looks. He honestly one of my favorite characters. The Chef Pig is one of my favorite characters in the Angry Birds cartoons. And actually, I better put this out before some Angry Birds fans in the comments nail me for not knowing this, but he actually appeared in Bad Piggies first, in the level for where you have to collect all the cakes for the King Pig. It's a pretty weird thing. I like Bad Piggies though. It's a really good game. But anyways, while we're on the while we're talking about it, comment down below what your favorite cartoon episode is from the Angry Birds cartoons. Mine has got to be the one where the two pigs are pretending to be sharks. I loved that one as a kid. I remember me and my brother would watch these cartoons for hours during the summer because they were so great. I don't know why Angry Birds ever ended it. They really need to bring it back, because I really miss them. In fact, I'm pretty sure Angry Birds made a joke about it in one of their newer shows, the Slingshot Tales, where it says "bring back," and in the year that the show aired on the Toons TV app. But anyways, moving on before I get too carried away. Here's another thing that you guys wouldn't notice unless you've played the games. In Mighty Eagle's house, you can actually see the fish on his wall. Now, why is that interesting? Because that is actually what you use to summon him in the game. I'll show you. In the original Angry Birds game, you launched the tin, which I think is supposed to basically be a sardine can, which I don't know about you, but sardines are disgusting. And what it does is it summons him in the original game. And yeah, and then that happens. But anyways, this is how you summon him, and so that's in the movie. Anyways, that is the last hidden detail in the Angry Birds movie. If you know any other things that only Angry Birds fans would notice, let me know. And if you did like this video, please consider subscribing. Help us reach 200 subscribers. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.